In a world where trailers give away the entire movie, plots are about as deep as kiddie pools, and as predictable as the sunrise, a movie like Longlegs is unfortunately a rare but very welcome delight. And stick around to the end of the video for a brief rant about elevated horror. But I've got my Longlegs on now, so let's talk about Longlegs. I thought I knew what I was getting into with Longlegs. At least I had an idea. I mean, it's a serial killer movie, right? With Nicolas Cage playing the serial killer and Maika Monroe playing the FBI agent tasked with tracking him down. Think The Silence of the Lambs and Seven, the gold standards when it comes to cops tracking down serial killer movies. But without giving too much away, it is much deeper, much darker, and far more disturbing than that. Wow. What an impressively uncomfortable movie. Literally, from the very first frame, Osgood Perkins establishes an atmosphere that I can only describe as uncomfortable. And I mean that in the nicest way possible. If Osgood Perkins wasn't already on your radar, Longlegs should put him there. By the way, if you haven't seen his first film, The Black Coat's Daughter, you should. People don't talk about that movie nearly enough. Where to begin? Well, let's start with the atmosphere. Aside from being just an overall uncomfortable experience, and wonderfully so, it is bleak as the day is long. You can feel the cold and the damp. It's constantly overcast, and there's a feeling of uncertainty and dread that permeates the film entirely. However, the cinematography captures all this bleakness beautifully. From a technical point of view, the cinematography, the sound design, and the score, all superb. And the dread and bleakness have seemingly seeped into virtually every character in the movie. Are you picking up what I'm putting down here? Even though Longlegs has a summer release, this is not the feel-good hit of the summer. Although I left the theater feeling pretty great. And speaking of the characters, Nicolas Cage. My God, Nicolas Cage. What a haunting, unsettling, and just creepy as hell performance. Every scene he is in, you cannot take your eyes off of him. I think the best compliment I can bestow in regards to Cage's performance is that there were moments I didn't see Nicolas Cage there at all. I saw Longlegs. And that guy is scary. Maika Monroe, who's created quite a body of work for herself with movies like It Follows and The Guest, is terrific here. She plays an FBI agent with some awkward nuances. She's got issues. I'll leave it at that. We discover the why behind those issues later on. Blair Underwood and Alicia Witt round out a very strong supporting cast. It was great seeing Alicia Witt from Urban Legend in a significant role, and her performance is definitely a standout. Longlegs surprised me a number of times. It went places I did not see it going. It did go some places that I did see it going. However, whenever a movie surprises me, I have to give it kudos. And Longlegs surprised me more than once. I didn't watch any trailers beyond the very first teaser, so that might have played a role. I've heard the movie called scary and terrifying. I can't say I ever felt scared and was certainly never terrified, but the tension, particularly in the final act, is quite palpable. And the movie overall is haunting and unsettling enough to really get under your skin and stay there, like an Alabama tick. There was an element of the film that did create some concern. I'm not sure if any of the trailers hinted at it or not. I'll just say that it's a supernatural element. I was concerned that it might overcomplicate things or turn into a cop-out, but it's handled well and only serves to add more dread and mystery to the mix. Longlegs is the real deal. It not only lives up to the hype, it exceeds it. This is quality horror and deserving of your support. Longlegs is a movie that's going to stick with me for a while, I think, and I can't wait to see it again. And am I the only one here sick of the term elevated horror when it comes to movies like Longlegs? Can we not just admit that a horror movie is good without giving it an asterisk? Yes, it's horror, but because it's good, we can't call it horror. It has to be elevated horror. Remember when A-list horror movies were called thrillers? The Silence of the Lambs, for instance, is a good example. That's a horror movie. However, when it was out, critics refused to call it as such. Instead, it was a thriller, because we can't have a horror movie winning Academy Awards, now can we? Well, now they're called elevated horror, because we still cannot give horror any credence. There's good horror, and there's bad horror. The only thing that needs elevated is your head out of your ass. If you've seen Longlegs, please let me know your thoughts on it down in the comments section below. If you like this video, please leave it a thumbs up and share it on social media. If you're not following me on social media, those links are in the description. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care, and until next time, peace. A huge thank you to all my patrons and channel members for your generosity and support. Become a patron today and get early access to videos, have a say in what content appears on my channel, join me for monthly live streams, exclusive watch parties, and more. Become a channel member today and get access to exclusive badges and emotes to use when I stream, as well as members-only watch parties. Both those links are in the description. Say hello to the internet, Jeremy.
Hello to the internet.